Hi, my name is Robert Gaylord, and I did my report on Warren Buffett. Before I did any research, I really didn't know anything about Warren Buffett. I just knew that he was very wealthy, and I really didn't understand how he got his wealth or actually what he did or where it came from. But through my research, I've definitely learned his past. A brief bio in terms of where he's come from is that in his childhood, his father was a stockbroker and a congressman, so that's kind of what set up his interest in finance, and his mom was a homemaker. He was very gifted from an early age. He always invested. His father encouraged it. He started a paper route at a very early age and also did vending machines and sold candy and that kind of stuff. There's been rumors that his first tax deductions were actually for his watch and his bicycle, and that was when he was a pre-teenager. He wasn't even 13. By the age of 14, he ended up saving up enough money to purchase a 40-acre plot of land and leased it. So he was always into investing and had an investing mind. He ended up going off to college probably around the age of 15. He was really young. He went to the University of Pennsylvania, or the prestigious Wharton. He got very homesick after 2 years and came back to University of Nebraska, where he graduated with a BS degree. He had saved up in college $10,000, which today would be worth over $100,000, which is pretty incredible. He went to graduate school and he actually got rejected from Harvard Business, and so he went to Columbia as a backup plan, where he studied under Graham. And Graham was a professor that was well known at the time and very in it, and you could see from his activities they really followed Graham until he kind of surpassed it and created his own strategies. After school, he had wanted to go to Wall Street, but both his father and his mentor had said no. So he actually came back to work for his father in Nebraska as a salesman to the stockbroker. He also attended a Dale Carnegie course because he was very bad at public speaking. It terrified him. But after 2 years, he saw a big conflict with selling because he felt like it was his intent to get a commission and the investor's intent to make money. So he saw that as a big conflict. So he ended up going to a company called Graham and Newman, and that was not his mentor. This was another one. And he stayed there for 2 years, and he worked as an analyst. And he did pretty well, but they're also very conservative, and there are definitely problems. He hated answering to people. So he went and started Buffett Partnership with, I think, seven or nine people. And that's what he started with $100,000. And he grew it. He was very, very successful. He ended up getting more and more partners. After only a couple of years, his capital was over $1 million. That was his own, that he was also investing in, which is pretty incredible. He ended up buying stock for Berkshire Hathaway back in the 60s when it was more of a textile, and he just really liked the name and was drawn to the name. He was very with the trend, so he ended up getting out of a lot of investments in the late 60s because he saw it as unsustainable. And it was really remarkable because he actually acquired a bunch of cash while it was cheap. And then when the economy started a recession, he was able to leverage everything they had and really go all in. And that's where he named himself the chairman of Berkshire Hathaway. And with that, he bought an insurance company first to be able to provide the capital, or the float, you could say, to fund different investments. And he's been doing that ever since, and he's really been successful. And he has a lot of leadership skills. He's definitely a decision maker in the way that he really didn't want to have to answer to anyone. He's very special in this way because a lot of other leaders need other people's inputs, and he didn't really for his success because he had such a good view of the market. He was also ultra conservative in terms of projections and doing a very low under promise. he was also really great with trends, and there's a lot of things that I see in myself and him, or him and myself. I couldn't do the decision making, but sometimes I struggle with answering to people, and so I really understand that aspect, and also the value of understanding different trends in the market. I think that's a characteristic of any leader, because you have to continually keep changing, and that's exactly what he did.